Let's assume this is a total hypothetical, Jordan, but let's assume that the owner of the team that we love actually understood sunk costs. If that owner did understand that, what would you do with Andrew Benintendi?
Benintendi, when you gave me this question, I was like, yeah, you just get rid of it. Sunk cost, whatever. Yeah, but it's hard because you look into the numbers of it, and it's like, I was surprised to see, like, oh, expected statistics were way better than the current ones. I'm like,
I brought this question up to you specifically because of this, because anytime I tweet something negative about Andrew Benintendi, there's a Twitter account that has like 11 followers that's probably either his dad, his Gumar, or maybe it's him saying, hey, he's been unlucky. The expected stats are high. And they're right. They're 100% right. I'm not negating them, but it does put an interesting spot.
Correct. And it is an example of like, okay, but why do they say that? Are you really getting that unlucky? There's still that element to it. Right. The thing with Benintendi, there's been a change in approach in terms of how often he's trying to pull the baseball. The problem is when he's pulling he's pulling it more than he has in the past several years. The problem is 62% of the time it's on the ground. So it's like you're trying to do something different, which in theory, I think we've all said this. Like, oh, hey, if you had more pull power and you tried this, I made that argument when they signed him. Like, hey, They probably saw terrible place to hit home runs in Kansas City. You try some of that pull power in Chicago, it might work a lot better. Right now, it's either he's trying it and it's not working, or he's just literally rolling over everything. So it's a difficult question. I think if there's an element of he's trying to change some things, what's the harm in continuing to work through it? Mm-hmm. But the flip side of that is what are you getting to? Like, what are you trying to get him back to? Is it just adequate? Like, just adequate on this team does what for you? That's the problem. It's like, by the time they're good in maybe a year or two, he's at the end of the contract. You know, you're towards the end of a contract that you probably hadn't add an extra year just to get him here.
Yep.
He shouldn't be considered your top performer at $15 million, but he typically is going to be. What are you? It is such a hard question until somebody pushes the envelope and says, yes, you can. You're just going to have to sit it out. I guess you just keep running him out there.
Yeah.
I almost like the Jose Abreu approach of tell the dude, listen, go back to the minors for a little bit, swallow your pride, and
figure some shit out.
Because this is bad. Like, you look bad, and if it's not an approach thing that's an issue, you look awful. So fix it in the minors, swallow your pride, and we'll bring you back up there. I almost don't hate that idea.
Yeah, I mean, just to get some. I mean, I also thought about. I liked your approach there in this discussion. I thought about it like, close my eyes. If you could snap your fingers and you can get whatever was projected of Andrew Benintendi this year, starting now going forward, would I be good enough just with that? With him killing opportunities for Dominic Fletcher to actually be out there and see if we have anything there? And I don't know. I'm not even sure about that. And I've been a big proponent of, for fuck's sake, if the Andrews would just get back to their norms, this team would be totally fine. They'd be bad, but they wouldn't be real bad. They'd be just a total regular bad team. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, we're running out of time for me caring about that anymore. Like, I in a way, the utility of his plate appearances, I was watching Corey Julks this past weekend. And playing really well in left field. It's like, and rob a home run, some shit that Benintendi wouldn't do, and hit a home run, things that Benintendi rarely does. So it's I don't know if I'm getting too much of my feelings about how I'd like to see some other stuff going on, and I almost feel like the Benintendi thing is a past era. But yeah, it's a tough question. I like your response though. If we can Jose Abreu him. Send him back to Arizona. Hey, work on it at the complex for 3 weeks.
Right.
And then we'll see what you got.
At a certain point, this is rock bottom. Like, I can sit and try and make a defense from the statistics as much as I want, but this is rock bottom for a major leaguer. And it's like, it's not just a slump to start the season. It's May 20th. We've been here a little bit. So, again, a major leaguer in Abreu, a long-time lifer. Younger or older than Benintendi, swallowed his pride and went and did it. It's like, it sounds ridiculous on the surface, but sometimes you just need that moment away. And it's like you're not doing anything for us at this level right now.
Right.
So go figure it out and hope you can at least get back to being league average and going